Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my Women's Prize reactions. So I have briefly, vaguely followed the Women's Prize for a long time. Looking at it with Charlie, I'd actually read more of the Women's Prize books than I thought I had. She was actually quite shocked at how many I read. But this year I kind of wanted to go all out with it because a lot of the books I was thinking, the girls that have obviously won do the plod along, so I'll link their channels down below. My sister Charlie from Charlie Book Reads, Gemma from Gemma Books, and Alice from Alice in the Giant Bookshop, and I'm really angry with this. So they're obviously hosting the plod along, and I must admit, I wasn't sure. There was only one book on the list when I originally looked at it that I recognised. A couple of authors I've heard of, but I decided to look into the Women's Prize this year. I've got all of the titles down. I've got whether I want to own it, whether I want to buy it, whether I want to borrow it from the library, or what I'm going to do with it, which ones I'm rushing to, which ones are the ones that really excite me. And I've got some sort of information on it. So what I will do is, this might be a long video because I can't physically write down much about the books because I didn't have much, and my cat's going crazy again. Great. But in honour of Women's Prize, yeah, I'm going to go through the books and speak about how I feel about them and which ones I'm really excited about, that kind of thing. And you've got a cat in the background. So the first book that I wrote down was A Trace of Sun by Pam Williams. Now, apparently, according to Charlie, this is an independently published book. It's going to be harder for me to get. They don't have it at the library. As to where they get it at the library, if they do, she's going to look out for it. And it's a contemporary one. It's about a mother who having to leave her child from Granada, I think, and she's moving to England. It's a family sort of thing. It's an independently published book. I've not heard of Pam Williams before. Charlie does think I'll like it, so if I do, it's one to think about, but it's not like high up on the list. It is one I want to read if I can find it. It's not necessarily one I want to buy. It's whether I see it at the library or Charlie gets it or whatever. So this is not one I'm rushing to. If it goes on the shortlist, then maybe I might go down to it then. The next one is Restless Dolly Maunder, and it's by Kate Granville. It's a historical fiction set in 19th century. It's set in Australia. Kate Granville is I've read a few Kate Granville's books, and her books are good. It's about women battling, feisty women, strong women. It does sound like a really me book. Originally, I was going to buy it, but now what I'm going to do is I've got it borrowed from the library on ebook. Yes, guys, I'm actually going to try and read an ebook. I will really physically make myself read it. And I think I'm getting it mid to end of March because Charlie jumped me on the queue on that. There are some advantages and some disadvantages of having your sister in the same town going from the same bloody library. But if I like it, you never know, I might buy it when it comes out in paperback, but I'm going to read it from the library ebook. It does sound like a really me book. 19th century, strong women, Australia, Kate Granville, all the kind of stuff to make me want to buy it, make me want to read it. So that is one that's going to be definitely read. The next one is River East, River West by Aubrey Lescure. Charlie has ordered this, so I'm going to be borrowing it from her. We're doing this with borrowing each other's books. So she's ordered this to come out when it comes. I think when it comes out in paperback, I'm not sure. She's ordered it anyway. It's historical fiction, always what I like. Asian, multi-generational, always good. 2 generations. The first one is set in Shanghai in 2007 and it's Alva, and then the other one is set in 1985 and it's Lu Fang. 2 different women journeys. It does sound like a really good book. Charlie nearly bought it when we went on our London trip and she's gutted she didn't. So now she's going to get it and I'm going to borrow it from her. So that's the easy one with that. The next one is Western Lane by Chantna Maru. And it's a contemporary fiction and it's one that our library has. So I'm going to borrow that from the library. I might get off my bum and go to the library at the end of the month. Charlie doesn't think it's not necessarily one that I'm going to be desperately love. So I nearly bought that one in London, but I didn't. And she said that she doesn't think it's a majorly good one for me to buy. So I'm going to borrow that from the library. And it's about grief, sisterhood and a young athlete who is struggling to transcend herself. Not that I don't understand what transcend herself means. But it was one that was up for the Booker last year. I think it either won the Booker or it was up for the Booker last year. So it's one I've heard about and it's one I will definitely read. But I will only be borrowing that from the library. The next one is The Blue Beautiful World, and it's by Karen Lord, I think. And it's probably the one I'm least interested in. Like I said, if it gets on the shortlist, it might be one I think about on the shortlist. It's a sci-fi, the world is changing and humanity must change with it. If it comes in the library, I might borrow it from the library, but it's not one I'm rushing to. It's probably, like I said, that's the library if they get it. And then it'll probably might just wait until it goes out in paperback. You know, it's not what I'm rushing to. If it gets to the shortlist, then I'll think about it, but it's not what I'm rushing to now. The next one is probably the one on the list that I'm giving you heads up. I don't normally read books the month that I get them, but it's The Maiden by Kate Foster. Charlie has just bought it for me for my birthday, which is a couple of days before this video goes live. She has got me the most stunning, and I mean stunning, edition of it. The Waterstones paperback has got sprayed edges. I will be posting it on, it will probably be posted on like a Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm going to literally be reading it as soon as, like, literally halfway through the month. You know, I do this thing where I add books to my TBR halfway through the month. That one will be added to that halfway through the month. So it's Katie from Books and Things, loved it, and rated it 5 stars. And I think, who else? One of the guy at Waterstone said another author raved about it and loved it, and I can't remember who it was. So, and that is set in 1679 in Edinburgh. It's feminist, revolutionist, giving voice to a woman who's otherwise silenced by history. All of those things just make me absolutely desperate for it. I cannot wait. It will literally be added onto TBR and read as soon as I can. Literally, I can't wait. The next one is The Wren, and that's by Anne M. Wright. It's fictional, based in... Oh no, it's not fictional. It's fiction. Yeah, it's fictional. It's based in Ireland. I do want a copy of that. I don't know whether I'll wait for it to come out in paperback, if it comes out in paperback soon, or it might be one I might buy in hardback. I don't know whether I'll buy it on my birthday or not. I really can't decide, because it is one that I really like, and I think it looked like Roz from Scally Dangly about the books raved about that, and it's one that Charlie thinks I'll like, so it is one that I'm really interested in. Again, it's multi-generational, transcendent novel about the inheritance of trauma, wonder and love. All of which sounds great. I don't know if I've read an Anne M. Wright book, but it does sound like a really me kind of book. The next one is one that I'm not really interested in very much, and it's In Defence of the Act by Effie Black. It's queer fiction, but it does tackle suicide a lot, and it does seem like quite a dark book, and it's not necessarily one I'm going to rush to. I think Charlie was looking into that one, so I'm not sure whether we're going to go over that one or not. The next one is Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan. Again, that could be coming out in paperback soon. I nearly bought that one today, but there was something in me that stopped myself. Again, that talks about 1960s London crime. If you guys think I'm going to like it, let me know. I could have bought it in the library today and I could have got a signed copy, but wasn't one I was necessarily rushing for. It is got a mixture of historical fiction and contemporary, but it does have dark and thrillerish, and I'm not sure how much of a me book it is. And the next one is And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott. It's a horror thriller it's a mixture of horror and thriller, which isn't again a massively me book, but it does talk about motherhood, mental health, and it's a very dark book. So it's not necessarily one on this list I'm going to be rushing to. I may get it from the library if it goes into the library. I may get it if I see it, but again, it's not one I'm rushing to. The next one is one I'm really thinking I do want a bit, and that's Hangman by Maya Binham. It's a fictional book based in Africa. I'm not sure. Really am. This is not one of the ones down the list, but it's kind of in the middle of the list. It's about exile, dysphoria, and black refuge. It does look like a really good book. The covers were gorgeous. It is one that intrigues me. I'm not sure how much I'm going to rush to it, but it does intrigue me. The next one's one that Charlie's got me, so it will be read right at the start of April, because I can't read both these, and it's going to be read for Katie from Books and Things, is read along, and it'll be for the prompt of read one of the newest books on your TBR, so I'll be reading it for that. And that's Soldier Sailor by Claire Gilroy. Charlie got me a gorgeous copy of it in paperback. It's an Irish book, it's contemporary, I want her in it. It looks like a really me book. Motherhood, Deep Love, Identity. I know that it could well break me into a million pieces. Charlie's got me a copy. I'm really looking forward to it. And also Jem from Gemma Books has loved it and thinks it's a really me book. So if Jem thinks it's me book, she knows me better than most people. She's amazing. Then the next one is Night Bloom by Peace Adezo Medi. And I actually read this author's first book and really enjoyed it. So I've kind of done something. I've kind of pre-ordered it in paperback and it comes out on the 21st of March. So it's another one that will probably be read April. Maybe there'll be 2 books read in April. I don't know yet. It's a contemporary, it's set in Ghana. I love books set in Ghana. I'm really enjoying reading books set in different countries. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's female friendship, female bonds against those who silence them. It looks like a really, really, really me book. Oh my God. Actually, I don't know which one I'm going to rush to read, Sailor or Night Bloom. I don't know. I really don't know. Which one of those do I rush to read? Please let me know down below. The next one is more of a Charlie book, and that is Enter Ghost by Isabella Hammond. It's fiction, it's politics, and I think Charlie's gonna get it or gonna read it, and she's gonna let me know. It's diaspora, I don't even know how to say that. Displacement and connection found in families. It does look intriguing. I don't know how much of a me book it is. I don't know how much I'll rush to it. If Charlie gets it, I'm looking to kind of seeing where it goes on this. The next one is one that I think Charlie's getting, and I will be nabbing off her because it does look a really, really good book. And that is 8 Lives of Century-Old Trickster. It's a mixture of historical fiction, fantasy, set in Asia. I think Charlie's getting it, and I think I'm going to be nabbing it off her. If she doesn't get it, I want to own it. It does look like a really, really me book. It's a mixture of me and Charlie books. It's about survival, trauma, family. It's got a shapeshifter. It's a bit of magical realism, kind of mixing up my jams, and it does sound like a really, really fantastic book. And it's by Miriam Lee. It looks like a really good book. I'm gutted she wants to get it first, but I think she's getting it and then I'm borrowing it off her. Then the last one is another one that I really want to own, and again I can't remember if Charlie said she wanted to own this, and that is The Brotherless Night by Bibi Ganashana. I can't bloody say it. I'm going to include a picture of the Women's Prize books. And it's historical fiction set in Asia, and it's about war, but it does look like a fantastic book. It's set in Sri Lanka in 1981, and it's Sashi wants to be a doctor, one woman's moral journey and the impacts of war. It looks like a fantastic book. So I'm kind of hoping I get that one for my birthday, because otherwise that one and 8 Lives of Century-Old Trickster, they really are high up on my list. They're both books that I really, really want. Now, what books do you guys want on this? Which ones are you excited about? Which ones do you think that I should read? And if you got to the end of this video, leave a woman, female in the description box. You know, we've got these female icons, a woman icon, because it's Women's Prize and we're celebrating women, and I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not discriminating against men. Love men, totally, but I love supporting Women's Prize. I love the Women's Prize books. I will say, please guys, check out the plod along that is hosted by my sister and 2 of my best friends. They're going to be hosting videos for the lives over the next coming months. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get involved in the Women's Prize this year and be involved a lot more. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.